we're talking to you about the story involving Louis Giglio being now people saying asked to step down. And the reason why? Because of their commitment to be inclusive and diversity. I'll tell you what, my first move.
He got caught up in a diversity check.
My first move to show you how inclusive I am is kicking this person right off the stage.
Yeah, I mean, that is the most bizarre. I guess they're just so used to that template of going, well, we want diversity. We want,
Only if you agree with us.
Yeah, they stuck that in there before they thought
By the way,
through.
866 We Be Big. Let's go to Mike, Birmingham, Alabama, 104.7 WZZK. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Vegas, what's up?
We're good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, guys. Listen, this thing about Louis Giglio, it's just one more example of how ridiculous this administration is. I mean, what is the purpose of a prayer?
Yeah,
a prayer.
A prayer. I thought you said player, and I thought Speedy was going to answer.
I mean, this is this man is supposed to be there to deliver a prayer, and they don't want to hear from the Word of God. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and plus, let's go a step further. He's not going to address this issue in a prayer at inauguration anyway. I mean, it's silly. The liberals always live in fear that somebody's going to say they're mean. But unless, of course, you're a Christian. If you're mean to them, then somehow you're a hero. 866 We Be Big. Let's go to Baltimore, Maryland, where John is standing by. John, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Hope you're okay.
Just thanks for taking my call, first of all. I just wanted to say that, the Bible is black and white on this issue, and there's no gray area, really.
None.
And, it's as clear as black and white. It says that sin is sin, and that's it. So, but the way of the world is that people don't want to recognize sin anymore. They want to do whatever they feel like doing, and they think they're their own God because, hey, they don't want to recognize God anymore.
Yeah, I really actually understand, John. I really do. People who don't share the biblical worldview. The people that are the most perplexing to me are the ones who want to have the redemption of Christ. They want to say they're Christians, but then they're going to get the Bible out like it's a buffet line and throw out the food they don't like. I mean, what would people think of a man who claimed to be a Christian, and let's say he was even a pastor, because we have pastors right now who are homosexual.
Right.
What if a man said, I'm a pastor, and I know that Jesus said that adultery is wrong, and I know he even said if I look at a woman lustfully in my heart that I've committed adultery. But, I was just born that way. I like to look at women. I love to look. I like looking at porn. And you know what? Every now and then I'll step out and either have a prostitute or sleep with another woman because that's how I was born. That's just who I am. And I just don't think that Jesus would be mad at me for doing what I was naturally born to desire. What would we think of that? I mean, you would think that was lunacy if you're a Christian. You would think that.
You used to, Rick, yeah.
Wouldn't you think that was just complete lunacy?
Yes.
But that's exactly what we're saying about homosexuality. In the Garden of Eden, if you want to go there, I'll take Leviticus and we'll throw it out. I don't think we should on this because some of you don't understand the difference in the moral law and then the laws that were of hygiene and food and all that. But here's the thing. Let's take that out. All right, let's look at the beginning. God said that man was alone and that was not good. The only thing he said was not good. He said, so he searched the garden and he found no partner that was suitable for man.
All right.
So he made the partner that was the perfect partner for man, and he made woman. And he said, the reason why this is great, the way I made her, is the two can become one, spiritually and physically. When did he change his mind? We also know that Paul says in Romans chapter 1, when he's telling Rome, God's wrath is coming for these things, and he starts a speech where he says, we know what God intended. It's so obvious, but we do other things. He says, let me think of the best example of that. And you know what the best example he came up with that was? Homosexuality. He says it's so obvious looking at the male and female body, looking at what God said about man and woman, what he intended, and here you are in your culture, and he said this, it's even so bad that even women are sleeping with women. He said not only are men sleeping with men, women are now sleeping with women. He goes, could it be any more obvious what God intended, and we turn around and do something else? He used that as the number one example. So to say that it's only some obscure reference, as the president called it. And you ever read Romans? Does that sound obscure to you?
No.
It's talked about in Corinthians. It's talked about in Leviticus. Oh my gosh, Leviticus. And then how about this? Like I said, let's go back to creation. This is not a difficult topic. Now, do I sit here because we love to be bold about sins we don't struggle with. I'm not saying that those of you that struggle with this sin, that it's not real and it's not difficult. Look, it's something I don't struggle with, but there's sins I struggle with that you may not struggle with. So I don't want to sit here and mouth off about a sin that I don't struggle with. That's awful easy to do. I know it's a struggle. I know it's difficult, and I know that some of you, with your sin flesh, are drawn to this. I understand that. I understand about being drawn to sexual sin that's heterosexual. I understand that. And it does feel natural, but it's naturally wrong because our flesh, we're born into sin. Sin is what's doing this. It's not God's intention, which is why we need redemption. Okay? You don't just say, I want redemption of sin unless I really like it and it's hard to overcome it. And we're trying to take certain sins and give them a pass because they're difficult. And that's not biblical. 8:6, and you're also dumbing down the power of Christ. You don't think he can deliver you from that? Of course he can. He's delivered me of things I thought I would never be able to be delivered of.